Taurus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for February 29th through March 6th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to click the link for more information because the signs are different. All right, Taurus, so this week we've got a very important aspect, the South Node going over Chiron. So collectively, this is very important for a lot of us. Essentially, there's been a lot of healing taking place this past week with Jupiter opposing up to Chiron. But now with the South Node, it's about releasing a lot of old energies, a lot of old perspectives, and a lot of that can be quite healing. So it all starts, that's not going to be until the weekend. The actual week's energies start here with the aspects Monday and Tuesday with Venus sextiling up to Saturn. So your ruler is actually getting some nice aspects this week, but it's a sextile, so it's not really nice unless we sort of actualize it. The sextiles are just sort of openings and gateways. And so here, Monday and Tuesday, you do have this opening to, I think, get structured, get disciplined. I think a lot of that can come across as quite easy. And then going into Wednesday and Thursday, maybe trying something new, mixing up that routine, getting some excitement in your life. All of that can be quite nice. So in terms of the Saturn energy, Saturn's been in your 7th house of relationships. And Venus is, of course, the natural ruler of relationships. So maybe wanting to get serious and disciplined with that this early part of the week, whether it's with new or existing relationships. Now, this is a Venus that's in your 9th house. So a lot of you are, or at least could be, enjoying the more expansive views of life. Maybe connecting to those abroad, maybe enjoying philosophy, spirituality, maybe some light travel, nature, adventurous spirits. And that's certainly continuing this week. And that could be especially nice and grounding here Monday and Tuesday. Then as we go into the middle part with that Uranus energy, there's this new and exciting opportunity. It just depends, at least for everyone on a more internal level. And this is for your dreams, your visions, your ideals for the future. Maybe groups and friends if you're a part of any organizations or connecting with friends this middle part of the week. But in either case, I think just being open to trying new things, new enjoyments, specifically maybe with that adventurous spirit of life and the ideals of your life as well. So then as we go towards the weekend, we do have a few important aspects, but Mercury is going to be shifting into Aquarius, so we got some shifts happening. This is in your 10th house, where I think there has been lately a lot of focus. You've been focused on maybe the career, the big picture stuff, the productive aspects of your life. And now Mercury here is going to help you sort of work with it on a more mental or practical level, which is quite good because the sun just kind of shines and we have that expression, but Mercury really helps us create something tangible with it. And this could also be a high point too with your self-expression and perhaps the material values of your life also. One thing I want to say too is, Venus is the ruler of your 6th. So earlier in the week, this is great for mixing up that routine, trying something new with that. Maybe with your health, diets, regiments, and that could be quite grounding also with that Saturn. Now, as we approach the weekend, we do have Mercury squaring up to that Mars. So when it does come to, I think, this new shift of this public stuff or this future-oriented stuff, taking it nice and slow and integrating it. A square from Mars means that on one hand, we've got that drive and that intention, to do something, but then there's the practical or the more balanced, neutral sort of aspect to it. So taking it nice and slow and listening to that, though, could be a constructive weekend if implemented in that slow and steady sort of way. And that's been a Mars in your 6th house of routine. So a lot of you have been very driven and motivated to establish the routine, maybe the health, the diet, the regiments, the daily work. And I think that's also a good thing to integrate over the weekend. Now, also over the weekend, the sun is going to be squaring up to Saturn. So when it does come again to this focus of the big picture stuff, it's constructively working on it, specifically with relationships with this aspect. Because Saturn in your 7th house has been helping you build long-term relationships, mature relationships, real relationships, which is, of course, so important for you with this Scorpio and Ophiuchus energy of your 7th house. And then as we go into next week, the sun does sextile up to Pluto, which is nice. So there is this shift of opening and change, probably as that Saturn eases up off the sun, becomes easier to express ourselves in general and to have this sort of focus here. Could even be easier with the home and the health or the family life. But then there's this new inspiration about it, or this new opportunity, I should say, going into the next week in terms of the real truth. Pluto's been in your 8th house, really changing the way you see things on that deeper level. So a lot of that can be quite transformative. Now, the big aspect of the weekend is this South Node conjoining up to Chiron. So with this, like I was saying, there's this old energy being released, as there always is, and that's always the transit of the South Node. And so here, it's old energies about healing, old ideas about healing, and this sort of older energy too about ideals, because you've had the South Node transiting this 11th house. And so there's been a lot of old energy being released about ideals, visions, maybe community things, group stuff, innovative stuff. And it's all shifting into a brand new direction. You're going to have the South Node going into your 10th house, which will then be helping you release any old energies relating to your career or those productive matters. But to do that with this, and this is going into next week, but will be very strong over the weekend, is this healing about it. So I think just being open to releasing old energies, being open to learning more about your ideals, how you view them, how you view community, how you view group stuff, innovative things, technology, and your part in that could be online communities or anything you do like that too. And through that, naturally, the unhealthy elements of it will be released, right? Because it's not about necessarily moving away from the groups and that sort of stuff, but there's some perspective, there's some element that's being released that is unhealthy about it, right? So there could be some insights about that. And I think just being open to learning more about ourselves spiritually over the weekend will naturally allow these healing energies to take place with that. And again, could be somewhat associated too with your perspective on career, your public life, and those types of matters. One thing I do want to say with the South Node, it's not very conscious. So it's more of an internal feeling of it, and allowing just the feeling and just being receptive to, change, and allowing things to be released that are just no longer serving you in that sense. Now, this is all part of this new shift of these next couple of years of your North Node shifting into your 4th. You've got this new life path direction to establish your roots in life. Could be with home, family, location, health, and that's a good area of focus as it has been. And you'll find that you'll have actually a healthier perspective on that the more you're willing to let go of these old energies relating to your 11th house of ideals and your 10th house of public life. All right, Taurus, so have a great week. Thanks again for all of your support. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you guys all next week. Take care.